And we're live. It is a stormy, rough, incredible night in Perth, Western Australia. I believe that it is very rough around the coast here, not just in Perth, but across my state. How is it where you are? And good afternoon, good evening to everyone. For those who join me, who would be looking for Jess, hi Judy, thank you for saying hello and welcome. For those who would be looking for Jess, I would ask that we take a moment to offer our prayers to her and her family. At this time, we send them love and we send them strength. And we know that Jess will be back with you very soon. I have the privilege and the pleasure of filling in for Jess this evening, and my name is Gwenda. For those who haven't met me before, I've been here a few times this week, but I have my show. Good evening, Liana. I have my show on Tuesday evenings, The Heal Show. Double whammy, Ray Louise. Hello, love. Kerry Addison, good evening. Hi, Sindol. Lovely to have you join me this evening. Please let me know, those of you who are new to me, please let me know where you're coming in from. And for those who aren't familiar with me, I am a natural born seer, a conduit, a messenger of the divine. I'm also a warrior of the divine. Not a worrier. I don't worry him. It's humans that worry me, and I think the divine. I am a warrior of compassion, love, kindness. And at this time in the world, we couldn't have a time more precious of being in that place, of seeking to bring compassion, kindness, tolerance to all of mankind. Before I came on to the live this evening, yes, Kerry, it's a wonder Ray Louise hasn't said something about bending minds and things. Thank you, Liana. Liana is actually tagging friends to welcome them onto the show, and if anyone else would like to tag friends or share the show, then that would be wonderful. You will then be helping to spread the light of the divine. It would be your contribution to the world at this time. Hello, Jess. You made it in. Good evening, love. How nice to have you here. Boomer on your knee. So before getting ready for this evening, because as Ray Louise and Liana know, we never quite know, and Kerry too, what the divine has in order for us. Takes me by surprise too, I can tell you. But before coming on this evening, good evening, Antoinette. Lovely to see you join us this evening too. Before coming on, I sat in prayer. And Maria, hello darling, lovely to have you come in too. And I welcome loved ones of yours that have gone on to the next world, loved ones of yours that are struggling at this time. And also, hello Sandra Hudson, hello Monique, where are you girls coming in from? I also welcome the spirit. And Janine, hi, the spirit of souls who are to come. So for some of you who may be looking at bringing in new life, wanting to be able to, be a parent, then I have welcomed through my prayer and preparation this evening for those souls to come in and have a chat. Now, that has been my prayer. How it is answered is totally up to the archangels that will join us this evening. And in particular, hi Karen McAllister, in particular, it is Archangel Ariel, Azrael and Uriel that I was conversing with before we began tonight. Now, Azrael is quite often the one who will work with people who are passing from this life, people who have actually passed and need a helping hand in that transition. Uriel is an incredible archangel who is wonderful for helping those of us who are here in this world and struggling, though Uriel will also help with those who are having difficulty in transition. So the prayer that I've sent out with, what I'm wanting to work with in my hypnotherapy business, what's that? Mind-bending, Ray Louise? Any hypnotherapy is mind-bending. So in the prayer that I sent out this afternoon, hi Linda Gold, welcome. Those are the archangels that have responded. And this tells me that we are going to be speaking with loved ones who have left this world, loved ones who are still here, and souls who are going to be coming through to this life. So we could have laughter, we could have tears, we could have some frowns even, but most of all what we're going to have is love. Souls you want to work with in your hypnotherapy business, Ray Louise. Oh, working through the mamas. Souls working hard. Working with the souls coming in. Oh, yes. Yes, it is absolutely incredible to make that connection with souls that are coming in, and also with souls that look like they're coming in and then they decide, no, I don't want to. So I'm going to begin there because of what Ray Louise has raised here. As I wait to welcome loved ones for the rest of you who have actually transitioned and gone to the next world. Now I want to say here too that last night we had a really strange power outage on the live, and so I had to go to my phone. So I have my phone ready this evening because it certainly wasn't ready last night. So if we have a really weird power outage again tonight, please hang around because you'll find that I'll pop back up and I'll be working through my phone. Who knows, you know. So looking at what people call losing, hi Hazel, losing a baby. In medical terms, we have different terminology. So there is a miscarriage, there is abortion. Now the word abortion has been given a bad rap because it was brutalised by the church, because it represented someone forcing the taking of a life, which is seen as a sin in the churches. The fact is, from a physiological point of view, when you have a miscarriage, and of course, you know, that is the softer word used from the medical world and medical science, miscarriage. It's a strange word really, because the fact is that the soul has aborted. You know, good evening, Cat Grey. You've aborted the mission. You know, you hear the word abort, abort when army is in play, when there is a war, when there is a ship, you know, going out to Mars and it doesn't work well. Abort, abort. Which means leave it, go. Finish. Don't go any further. So for the medical world to decide that when a child decides, the soul of a new human being decides that it doesn't want to go ahead, for the medical world to determine it as a miscarriage is really interesting, because the fact is it's an abortion. It's just not a human-made abortion. It is an abort. The fetus, the child, the soul has decided, don't want to do this. Now, can the same soul come back another time? Absolutely. Because here's the surprise. It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with a parent. This is touchy ground here, but I just like to work in fact. People can't understand how come others who abuse their bodies with drugs, with alcohol, all sorts of things, food, how come they keep having children, and yet someone who so desperately wants a child can't seem to have one? People really get upset about that, because to them it seems unfair that they are living a good life, they are looking after their body, and they want a child. And they see someone who is severely drug inflicted or alcohol inflicted, and they just seem to keep having kids, or they smoke a lot, and it doesn't make sense to them. Well, the fact is that it's actually nothing to do with the vessel. It is totally to do with the soul contract that being, that going to be a human being, has signed. And that soul has chosen, for whatever reason, that soul has chosen to come in through that person. Can these contracts with the wood from abortion or miscarriage happen to someone who will never have children again? Can these contracts with the wood from abortion or miscarriage happen to someone who will never have children again? No, Ray Louise, no. As I was saying, it is nothing to do with the person. In essence, nothing to do with how they are living their life. If, however, that mother-to-be has been sitting on the fence about having children, and in her contract of life, she's gone, meh, if it happens, it happens, if it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's what her agreement is, then it is a 50-50 either way as to whether she will or she will not. And if she is in one of her kind of attitudes, when a child is looking at coming through her, that child may very well go, meh, maybe not. Yeah, it didn't make any sense to you, did it, Hazel? Vicky, little surprise for you here. It wasn't medical intervention. It was the souls of your twins who made sure that they survived, and that's what they wanted to do. Now, for whatever reason, and I can have a look into them and see what they were doing by arriving at 24 weeks. Spinal issues. So Vicky Price, had your twins have gone into the 7-8 month mark, the twin who was what you would call born second, so the younger twin, would have actually had spinal issues. This was an agreement between the two of them that to save that beautiful child from going through severe spinal issues which you would not have dealt with, the only way they could abort that was to arrive early. And they knew what they were doing. They always do. Always do. Ha ha ha. Great question, Ray Louise. People who experience unplanned births they didn't want, how does that work? Because a soul can override, and they can override that person. And I'm going to say to you that in those instances, there will be some sort of karmic debt. Hi, Heidi. Welcome. Kat, how wonderful. I have invited souls that left to come in and talk through me tonight to be able to help everyone that is missing them or is looking for questions. So I welcome your daughter to come through and let you know. I've had 2 abortions and now wondering if I'll ever have children or should have children. Hi, Sonny. Thank you, Vicky. Yep. My work is pure channel from the divine and from the archangels only. And when I bring information through, it is not as Gwenda, the person you might meet down the street. Absolutely, Ray Louise. It is up to the unborn soul, the soul who is looking to incarnate. There's nothing to do with the mother. Hence why you can see situations where people question how come that person can keep having children and I can't even have one. So, yeah, oh dear, Christine Marie Clark, hello darling. Your boy, now, so he was basically, he was made to stay here and he didn't want to. That's why he kept trying to leave. He didn't actually feel that you would be able to connect with him, that he would be able to have the kind of bonding that he wanted to have with you as his mother. He also felt that you weren't ready, and that's why he kept wanting to bail out. That is Christine Marie Clark. Tiasha Ferguson. Tiasha, darling, I'm sorry to say that the reason that you've had these 2 abortions is both of those children, and this is something else I forgot to say, everyone, that you can only have what is called an abortion, not a miscarriage, right? If you've had an actual abortion, what is termed an abortion by the medical world and the church, you can only do that and it will only go ahead with the consent of the unborn soul. That's why there are children here that the parent or the mother will say, I tried to abort, and it didn't happen. And it's because the soul did not grant permission. So if you have been through the situation where you feel like you have aborted, please know in your heart you could not have if that soul did not agree to it. So Tiasha, I hope I'm saying your name, Tisha, correctly. Yes, you will have children, but this is going to open up a whole other facet of this. They are not going to be your soul contract children. They are going to be the soul contract children of your partner that you will have the children through. Now, how does this work? When you sign up for your contract of life, there is actually a question about having children. Is this something that you want to do in the lifetime that you're coming to? And if you say yes, you do, some people think that they're like the little old woman lived in a shoe and they want to have 17 kids. So they will say that they would like to have many, many children, or unlimited children. Or they might say they want to have 5. So, boom, on your contract of life, it is granted because it's your contract of life. Then you meet a partner that you want to have children with, and unbeknownst to you, they've also said they want to have several children, want to have enough for a footy team, and you wonder why you end up with 13 kids. However, you may have said you wanted 2 children would be enough for you. Your partner that you meet up with says that they want to have 4 children. Well, you begin having your children and people say, oh my goodness, isn't she just like her father? I can't see any mother in her. She doesn't look like you, does she? You know why? Have you guessed? Because she's one of his assigned children. She's what I call a soul contract to him. So you have been the oven and brought through one of his, and that child has also agreed that you will be the oven. And then you get others that everyone goes, oh, wow. Isn't the child so much like mum? I can't see any dad in there. So that's one of yours. Follow? And then you get these ones, and these are the amazing. All babies are amazing. I'm looking at this from a soul level. So then you get the child that, you know, Nan, Grandpop will say, oh, she's so much like our side of the family. Look at that, amazing. Got this one's nose, that one's eyes. All ours, all ours. A few months later, what happened? What happened? You don't look anything like our family now. What happened? These are the awesome ones that come in and they belong to you both. These particular souls have nominated him and her, and they want to come through with only him and her. And so they look like both of you. Anyone relate? Hi, Jodie Marie, love. Passed on Father on Donovan likes me. Sindel, now that he has been through the gates of heaven and he has been able to look down over his son and over the family that you are creating together and building together, he very much likes you. He thinks that you are very good for his son. Now, for everyone who is listening and thinks, oh, of course she's going to say that, she wouldn't say anything else, want to bet? If that's not what her father-in-law wants me to say, then I won't be saying it, because I'm not permitted to not say what spirit meaning a loved one who's passed, I'm not permitted to mess with their words. Unlike supposed psychics I've been to who put their spin on what someone is saying. That's not how I function. And I'm not allowed. My granddaughter, daughter's child, my daughter aborted 6 months. No, Cat Graham, sorry, it doesn't. My granddaughter, our daughter's child. Daughter's child. I'll have to come back to that one, Kat. Hazel, darling, I am so sorry. Let's see what happened there. Pregnancy. She is most definitely around, Hazel, and she rotten thing. She sings to you. She sings to you. She was very restless and was not able to feel that tangled up. Okay, so her getting tangled up in the cord is how she felt things would be for her if she came through to this world, that she would always feel like she was tangled up and she didn't want to be. She'll come back. She'll come back. But she is around you. She's around you and she sings a lot. She's beautiful. Ray Louise, I've never felt connected with the soul I chose not to keep. Well, once again, Ray Louise, you couldn't have gone through that process if the soul of the child did not agree and consent to. That was a real mismatch. That soul was also not actually of your contract. That soul was of the contract of the other person and has gone on to continue to be where they're meant to be with that person. So there's actually no need for you to have connection with that soul, Ray Louise. I hope that makes sense. Janice, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean there, love. What happens to the souls that decide to leave? Is that what you mean, Jodie Marie? Nothing, love. Absolutely nothing. They go back to where they come from and they reassign. If they are meant to come back through you or through that person, they will. It's strange, really. It's all in divine perfection, Ray Louise. Hello, Michelle Clark. Maybe I could catch you up. I'm actually speaking to the souls of children, what would have been children who have not come through to this world. I am doing mediumship this evening. Just came on here and seeing the baby child loss pulls at my heartstrings. Oh, timing, Carl's Elizabeth. Oh, damn it. Okay, so they're having some fun with messages here tonight. Carl's Elizabeth, if you could resend me or tag me or something on your comment, please. Yeah, that's right. And Jess, nothing to be scared of. All you could look forward to is a duplicate of your mother. So what's to be scared of? It's going to be wonderful. What are they doing with my losing my comments here? Sorry, everyone. Yes, it is wow stuff, isn't it, Jodie Marie? Kia ora, Mama Gee, nice to have you here. Yes, I will ask for your mum and sister if they would like to come through and have a chat with you. Tisha, it might not make any sense just now, love, but it certainly will. Never came, that's why I go somewhere new. Well, Elizabeth, sweetheart, it won't matter what corner of the universe you go to, love. You're not going to be able to get away from that loss, that pain that you feel. And the one thing that's really important for both you and your boy is that you're able to make peace with that. Now I'm going to call for him and I'm going to ask for him to come and be with you tonight in dream, so he can come and reach out to you and show you. I'm going to ask him to take you in dream for a walk to show you what it was as to why he wasn't able to come through this time for you, and what it was that necessitated for him to stay in the world of spirit. And I want you to know that when they come in dream, it is beautiful. Please don't block that. This will allow both of you to have the healing that you both deserve, and it will allow both of you to find peace. Thank you, Karen. Awesome. No, Christine Marie Claire, your bub did not need to hang around with you. They bounce backwards and forwards. How interesting choice of words, bounce backwards and forwards. Hi, Peter. They bounce backwards and forwards between here and the heavens to come back and check on you. Thank you, Tisha. Love that. thank you. You know, we're making a family. You know, I'm in his family now. You are, Sindol, you are. And he's very pleased about that. He's very pleased. It's wonderful. How did I know? Because that's what I do. Hi, Erica. Lovely to have you here, darling. Yes, you've missed some really interesting stuff tonight, but that's okay. Yes, you can watch the recording. The recording's always up, everyone. You can go back to it. Antoinette, no, your baby needed to actually return to its source, needed to go back to its original place to be able to be prepared for another time and another life with you. Now that's going to sound really weird because, you know, you've still got this life to live, and then when you come back next time there's going to be a reuniting with that baby. I have to pause here, everyone, and say to you that this is one of the biggest lessons in your human experience, is being able to not be attached. Now, when you look at the Buddhist teachings, a lot of what they teach is non-attachment. And of course, those of us who have never been raised in that way will frown at that and may even get angry about it. Because I'm going to say to you that, you know, when you're asking about things about, is the baby I miscarried around me, it's attachment, and it's what you want. It's about your grief. It's about what you're feeling. You've got to remember that it's about the soul of that child, and they actually know. They know, and I'm sorry that they don't come down and whisper in your ear or leave you a letter. It's just not the way it works. But they know, they have the right of their soul just as you do. So when they decide that this isn't the time or place for them, it's really heartbreaking for us, but it's because we have expectations and attachments. And that's what causes a lot of problems in our life. Oh, I see. Well, once again, Kat, I'm going to say that it can only happen with the consent of that soul. So that soul will be perfectly well, perfectly healthy, which she would not have been had she have come through to this life. Oh, Swami the being free, what is his message? Sonny, if he comes through, then I'll be able to give you his message. I mean, that's a bit of a demand, and they don't respond to demands, okay? He does say that you need to look more into looking after your vehicle and paying more attention to your vehicle. Now, he's actually talking that in a parody, because he's talking about your vehicle being your physical self as well as the vehicle you drive. So, Sonny, your dad is saying that you need to look after your vehicle and your vehicle better. He says you're not taking enough care of either vehicles. And he says that you should get your hands dirty, greased up more. Hi, Natasha, welcome. Kids in one, very hard-headed and unique. Okay, so do you mean, Hazel, that she returned in her sister, who is like two kids in one? That is breaking universal law. You cannot have a physical body with two souls in it. That is against physical law. Your other child can influence a child who does come through, and they can certainly try and put their characteristics onto them, which is also against God's law. It is a no-no in spirit. It's not what I'm seeing here either. Oh, Lisa and John. Hello, love. I'm just going to call you Lisa, okay? Is this why some couples cannot have children together? Then I had... yes. Not meant to be at all, Lisa. That's very true, that old saying. It's not meant to be. And if people could accept that more, instead of putting the whys on it and wanting, explanations and keep asking why, then we don't have the attachment. Then we're able to heal and move on. Okay? I can hear you, cannot believe this. That this is your work at this time. What do you mean, this is my work at this time? Carl's Elizabeth, this has been my work all my life. Dad and my friend Marsha come through, thank you. Kerry, they come through actually almost in unison. So, Kerry Addison, your dad and also your friend Marsha. Now, your friend Marsha presents with like a walking stick. It is a stick, but I don't mean a walking stick like an old person's walking stick. I mean like a lovely big piece of branch that you would pick up in the bush, and you would use it to rummage around, and you'd also use it to be able to walk along. And she's showing me that she's stamping it along the ground. She's talking about it making her way through things, and using it like there is a greater sense of things here, and sometimes you have to dig up the ground to find it. Now that's a specific message to you, Carrie Addison. That's what she's saying, that there are things around you that you need to turn over to make more sense of them and to find the deeper meaning of them. So, and your dad, Kerry, he offers to you that you be, oh dear, he says that you need to be more honest with yourself. You're welcome, Carls Elizabeth. Ani, hello. Yes. He stands beside you, Ani. He comes back to be with you as you were thinking of his day today. And he thanks you very much, of course. But he says it's irrelevant because he's now ageless and he doesn't feel a thing when it comes to it. You wouldn't have enough candles for him. Now, he's also got quite a serious side to him, and he says that you must take more light in your days, meaning more lightness. So you must take, and he says, I need to add to that you must take in more light. So when people talk about love and light and bringing the light in, your dad is asking, Oni, that you take more light in and that you also be more light about life. Sinatso, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. Yes, you will get another chance. Most definitely, you'll have another 3 chances, but you need to heal more. There is still healing that needs to be done in your whole pelvic area. There's also inflammation down the base of the spine in the back of the pelvic area. So you actually need more physical healing as well as the emotional healing, and that's going to that is going to then open the door for you to be able to conceive again. But yes, you definitely are, don't worry. You've been handpicked, they're saying. You've been handpicked. How beautiful. Lisa, so for yourself, Lisa, there is a lovely gentleman who is walking forward at the moment, and I must admit he has a rather unusual gait. So the way that he places his feet, the way that he takes his steps is a little bit different, a little bit unusual. It's almost like it's a stride, it's a strut, it's almost like a bit of a dance beat to it. And also some wobbliness going on. So he's showing me that there was some unsteadiness, which is what made his legs look like he was walking unusually. But this man has got the most beautiful heart, and he offers to you to be able to feel the love that he has for you, and he wants you to know that there were just times he just couldn't say it, and for that he will always wish that he would did it differently, but he wants you to know that he sends love to you every day. That's Lisa and John. Won't you just, and won't you, Jess Tonkin, won't you have hell on wheels managing that kid? I remember when you were kids, so it's going to be really cool watching you be a mum. Lee Wild, hello, how are you, darling? Thank you for the white heart, the dove, the stars. That's gorgeous. No doubt you have, sweetheart. No doubt you have been feeling very heavy-hearted in these days, Lee Wild. Lee, one of the things for you, love, is to step out of what you're allowing yourself to get dragged down into. You know full well that it's not the right energy for you, but you're compromising yourself, and you're also compromising your heart. What's stopping you from living your truth, standing in your truth? And that's the question asked back to you, Lee Wild. 2 months before his passing. Oops, it's gone. My sister did it. My father who passed is not my grandfather's biological son. He was one of 8 children. Born to my grandmother who nobody knows of, and both my father's parents have passed, so we've hit a dead end. Oh, I'm sorry. There's that was a fabulous question about the grandfather, and you've stonewalled. Could you copy and paste that again, because the comment is gone, and with the way that Facebook are running these now, I can't go back to them. So the lady that was asking about grandfather not being the biological son, having 8 children, could you repost that? I'm sorry, this is what Facebook's doing. Karen Gorry, hello, nice to see you here today. Lauren Ellis. I'm actually doing mediumship tonight, Lauren, so I'm in that vein of bringing in loved ones and also talking to the souls of babies that didn't come through to this world for people. But I've sent that out there for you to see what that's about. Okay. So part of it, Lauren Elise, is that you just cannot fathom the things that are around you, and you don't want to see. You're seeing and you don't want to see, so you're trying to be selective with what you see, and it's creating a distortion in the eyes because there is the higher part of your sight, which I call our spirit sight. Oh, it's gone now. Spirit side that is trying to reach through to you, Lauren, and you're trying to push it away by looking at only what's around you. Come away from that. Thanks, Sonny. Karen, non-attachment must be very freeing. Yes, non-attachment is very freeing. Do I run any classes? What sort of classes, Karen? I think you might have mentioned masterclass last night. Hello, Roxanne Tyler from very wet Perth. Hey, you're welcome, Moni. Very welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Zita, hi. Look at that. I'm back again tonight. So much through your channel and everyone's sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tiasha. Let's see, I have always wondered why. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Vicky. It's a pleasure. Fabulous. Lisa and John, don't think I've had someone come through for me before. Zita, well, it must be time for you, and the person that would come through for you is really quite interesting, because the person that comes through for you is a brother who's in spirit. Zita Bush, this is actually a brother who did never come into this world, but he's always remained beside you and become what we call a guardian for you. So he has a very strong male presence about him, and sometimes people can feel that you have got a very strong male energy or masculine energy, but it's actually your brother from spirit. He quite often steps in front of you. He would always look after you, and he does help you a lot. There is a beautiful soul connection between you two, and you will meet again. Yes, Maria, probably not the answer that you really want, sweetheart, but yes, she is divinely happy. Divinely happy. Her passing and being able to do full transition took a little while. She kind of hesitated, and it's just what she did. But she's really good. And she shines over you quite often. She also says she's busy. Maria Bateman, she says she's busy. She has plenty to do. Lovely question, Karen. How do spirits comfort us? They reach out to us in many different ways. They can comfort us through direct connection, so you can sometimes feel like someone has put a hand on your shoulder. You can get the scent of someone that you really love. You can see them out of the corner of your eye. You can go to the shops, and in a crowd of people you'll think you've seen your loved one, and then your mind wants to step in to say, don't be silly, they're not here anymore, but in fact they were there. And that's how they try and let you know that, one, they're okay, two, they're looking out for you. And they will also bring new friends to you. So they do a lot. They're always working to help those that are down here. Down here. Kerry, that's a bit of a big question that I can't answer you here. It is something that you're being asked by your father to do, so only you can delve into that. I would suggest that you do some journaling. I'll also suggest that you might like to do some of the work in the School of Wisdom. Haven't seen you be doing anything in there, and that would be very helpful. George Lee, hello to you. Thanks very much. You do, I can honour his soul this year and have a safe trip as planned. My daughter, I think, carries his loss more than I do. Yeah. Unfortunately, yes, Carls Elizabeth, your daughter will carry, and this is another reason for you to really make this healing for all of you. It becomes an intergenerational pain, an intergenerational wound, when we pass on our tremendous sorrow and grief and inability to let go, and it goes on to more of our siblings, more of our children, and they then carried on. And then people wonder why. They say things like depression, anxiety, weight, migraines. Oh, they're just in our family. Well, they're in the family because somewhere along the line in the family it's been handed down because a wound has never been healed. So do your daughter, yourself and your son a favour and let him go. Let him go with love so that everybody is healed. I'll remind you all here too that as a spiritual mentor and teacher, I do have programs available. I do have my healing sessions. My booking links are in the information for you, and you'd be more than welcome to book a healing or a full channeled session for you. These lives are not only about you receiving something for free, there is also a requirement that there is some energetic exchange. Spirit put me in front of you for a reason. They put me in front of you because they know that there is something that they need to bring through me to give to you. And this is my life's work. It's not a charity organisation. It is my life's work. It is how I make a living. So, and I'll just be brutally honest with you. So if you're really interested in finding out about healing, in connecting, in your own soul growth, your own soul expansion, then please do reach out and see how we can work together. Sinazo, you're most welcome. Karen McAllister, being shown you skipping around. You were 5-6 years of age, Karen McAllister, and there is a beautiful lady that was very close to you, absolutely love you to pieces, 5-6 years of age, and then all of a sudden gone. So there was a very sudden passing of a lady that loved you dearly, still does in spirit, and she wishes for you to continue being that beautiful little girl that just loved to, you're like a butterfly, skip and play around. Beautiful. Liana, mother's sister. Oh. Liana, you actually have a sister in spirit. A mother's sister. So I have a message here from a mother's sister. They're saying, so there are two ladies here in spirit, Liana. One did not come through to this world. That would be your sister that's in spirit. She doesn't even look like she did. Well, she did what would be called a phantom pregnancy. And then there is a sister to your mother who's been in spirit for a long time. So there's two ladies, Liana, but they're saying that every time a door opens for you, you close it. And it's time that you polish the handles and push the doors open yourself. So everything that you want to be able to come into your life, they are saying, polish the handles, push the doors open, and let us bring it through for you. Oh dear. Yeah, Lisa and John, it's difficult when they do that, but it will make sense. You'll find that all of a sudden you'll get a picture, someone will start talking about a family member, and it will just suddenly drop into place. What I'm going to ask you to do is to leave your mind out of it, because when your mind is trying to figure it and all the rest, it'll never happen. And spirit cannot reach you when you're working from here. So, what are you doing? So, Lisa and John, just leave it, right? And then all of a sudden, you'll find out who he is. Well, there you go, Zeta. Oh, right. Monique, thank you. Now, Facebook, hold it here. Monique, that's going to take a full in channel purely for you, purely for that. I've got to actually connect with more than one soul to be able to get the answer to you for that one. I'm sorry, I can't give you that direct answer, because this is a big thing that actually requires a full channeling, a full mediumship. I would encourage you, yes, I'm going to encourage you to make a booking, because I just can't get all of that right now. I'm sorry. You're welcome, Lauren. Not going to tell you, Jess. It was you, Karen. Yes, so I do have different things that I offer. You're welcome to reach out and we can have a chat, Karen Goring. You can always ask, Sonny. It is totally up to the child. It's totally up to the spirit as to whether or not they come through. Well, everyone, we're about to the end of this evening's show. Thank you all so much for coming in. If I wasn't able to get to you, or Spirit wasn't able to get to you, I'm sorry. We have limited time, but as I said, you know, this is about energy exchange, and this is my life's work. So if you're really keen and you would like to delve further, if you would like to do your own experiences, then you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Aren't you lucky, Ray Louise? Very fortunate, my lovely. Hello, Kylie. How are you? Love to you, Sonny. Always love. So thank you so much. I guess you'll have to wait and see, Zeta. Thank you all very much for being with me this evening. And yeah, I think that's a good idea, Monique. And as I was saying, you know, Spirit know who to put you in front of, and you'll also feel it yourself. So, I feel like time of something I could pass on to them. I feel like that's why I've been stuck watching you. Very likely, as I just said, Carls Elizabeth, that's exactly what happens. Thank you, Liana. Thank you so much, everyone, for your lovely participation and for